What is going on, guys? It's your boy Saynity here, and today I've got for you a Battlefield 1 meta gameplay. It's kind of an overview of the class and some tips and tricks about how to be better at it along with the class setup. Yes, a little bit of a name change you might have noticed from Darius and who to Saynity, but I just kind of liked it better, so hopefully we'll be going strong with that now. So with that being said, let's get right into the video and hopefully you all enjoy. So the first tip I can tell you guys is to pick a role that fits the best for you. The meta class is one of the most versatile classes in the game, and with that comes ability to try to want to do it all, but it is really important to try to hone down on one type of medic that you want to be. So in this video I'm going to be highlighting the 3 different roles you can play, one being a more support-like or a scout-like role where you're kind of waiting for the kills to come to you, playing much more passively. The second one being much more aggressive, and then the third one as being kind of a team player based role that's kind of a merger between the two. So the first role I'm going to be highlighting here is the more passive medic role. For this one I like to use the Sebstelader optical, the medical crate, and the rifle grenade, along with your choice of pistols. I like the Sebstelader just because it has a sight which allows you to engage with enemies at much farther ranges, and it has a big enough clip size that you can kind of spam fire into a crowd, and it has great damage and fire rate. So for that reason I like that. You could compare it to the Mondragon sniper, but I like the Sebstelader just because of the clip size. Next is the ammo crate, or the medical crate. I like this over the pouch just because you can kind of set it up before you choose to engage your enemies, and that way as you're fighting them it can be supporting you without you having to think about it. Then the rifle grenade is really something that I love. It's great for like if you're in a gunfight and you run out of ammo, if there's a crowd of enemies, or you just have to shoot behind, like fire something over behind cover to kind of suppress them. I really like the rifle grenade for that. So the next type of medic I'm going to be highlighting in this video is the more aggressive playstyle. For this one I like using the M1907 SL Sweeper just because it has a very fast fire rate as well as having a pretty big clip, and it can be set in full auto mode, which really helps to engage those enemies at closer medium ranges. Additionally, I like to use the medical pouch because unlike the crate, this can be thrown more easily, and because you're going to be running along much more closer to the action, you're going to be encountering a lot of friendlies and a lot of assaults who are going to kind of be shielding for you and taking out the people really close to you, and so they're oftentimes going to get pretty beat up, and so it's good to have a medical pouch that you can help them out with. And then additionally, the last part of this class is to have the rifle grenade. This is really helpful because if you have a few assaults pushing up around you, like in front of a bunker, you can shoot your rifle grenade over their heads and try to kill people in front of them. So if they act kind of as like a shield for you, then you can shoot that over their heads or shoot it into trenches and other places where your guns might not be able to get to. As far as mental strategies and things to think about when running with these two classes, with the passive class I would try to think more about like being more recluse in the hills and trying to act kind of like a scout, but putting down your medical crate before you engage people. And then with the second one, I would act somewhere between like a medic and an assault and try to just really push enemies and get in their faces, as well as to remember to heal your teammates because your teammates are really going to be helping you when you use this class. This clip above doesn't really demonstrate it perfectly, but a lot of times when you use this class you're going to be pushing into points with people, and so it is really good to be able to support them like that. The next thing to think about when you're being a medic is your positioning. The third class I'm about to show you, you have a syringe, so your positioning is much more based around the position of your teammates. But when you don't have a syringe, instead you have a rifle grenade, when you have a class like that, you are much more in control of where you get to position yourself. And so in this map you can see I'm generally migrating towards this rock area just because that's the spot where I like to be. I feel like my guns perform very well there. As you can see here, the distance between the other side of the train tracks and these rocks is perfect for a medic class, and it's too far for an assault, something like an automatic or a shotgun, but not far enough for a scout or a support to be fully effective yet. So you completely dominate this range, and so it's really important not to be afraid to engage enemies at that range, to position yourself at ranges like this where you're able to back up. And so that's the other thing. The medic is the class that is best suited to back off and stop fighting someone. You have like you have medical supplies. So if both opponents back off for 20 seconds, you are better off. That you are giving yourself an advantage by putting down a medical crate. And so it is really important. Something that I think a lot of new players forget is that it is an advantage to stop shooting if you are the medic, and to back off and to revive yourself, and it is a must to position yourself in places where you have cover to duck behind to heal up. Just kind of as a side note, as you can see here, do be sure to be careful about your ammo count. Both the Sebstelader and the Sweeper have very large clip sizes, which kind of encourages spam firing and stuff like that. But it is really important to keep in mind that you are going to run out of ammo, especially if you go on longer kill streaks like this. And if you aren't close up in the front lines with your supports and assaults, ammo can be a very big problem. At that point, it is really important, if you are running low on ammo, to be attentive to the people that you're killing, because if you do happen to kill a support, as you could see in my previous clip, it is really important to pick up their class and then drop an ammo box and then switch back to your old class and get ammo, because unless you have a very strong sidearm, which I'm going to be talking about later, running out of ammo can be a very big problem with this class. And the third type of medic I'm going to be highlighting here is the team player role. In this one, you're going to want to for sure take a syringe and then a medical pouch. This one is going to be kind of aggressive, but not quite as aggressive as the previous one, because you don't have that explosive capability that you would with a rifle grenade. In this one, you're going to be on more points and stuff like that, and really just healing and reviving your teammates. I use this one more if I'm like in a squad of people who I know aren't going to like skip revives, because that's a thing I've seen a lot in this game, which is why I switched to the rifle grenade in the first place. But it is really important to have a syringe, especially if you're playing like operations where deaths count a lot and like they matter a ton, especially near the end. But if you're in a full squad of people or you're playing with people who you know, I would definitely recommend this, especially if you're trying to like do flanks and do stuff like that with people. This is a really great thing to have. It's a necessity for your squad. So this one is more try to think about like getting on the flags and just go where other people go. This syringe is only helpful if you're with people, and it's only helpful if those people are dying. So sitting in the hills with a bunch of snipers isn't going to do you anything. It's really important to be with a bunch of assaults or medics or stuff like that who are pushing into a point. This is conveniently really similar to the class I just picked up, which uses Syringe Optical, which is a very valid gun that you could use for this. I personally kind of prefer the Sweeper or even the Sebstelader Factory, just because it has the range and the fire rate and the giant clip size, along with those iron sights that are really easy to pick off closer targets with. So the last thing I'm going to be talking about here is your choice of sidearm. I personally like the M1911 just because it gives you a good mix of fire rate, damage, and a fine clip size. But the other option you could consider would be the auto revolver. Just because it has such high damage, it can be a two-shot kill, which is really rewarding, and it allows you to take on enemies at a slightly longer range. Personally, though, I like the M1911 just because I only really use it when I'm out of ammo, and at which case I'm kind of trying to hunt a support class and to find myself more ammo, in which case I like M1911 a little bit more. So that is going to wrap it up for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm planning to come out with some more similar content, one about the tank, and then one about the assault class, and then the support class later this month. So please be sure to comment down below and leave a like rating to let me know how you guys felt about the video, and then subscribe for future content and share with all your friends. That really does help me out a lot. So thanks you guys. As always, it's been great. It's your boy Saynity, and I'm out.